Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we're taking a look at two new Ryuga cards for Alliance Insight. This is pretty cool. We did not have pure confirmation yet that we were actually getting crossover breakers in this set, but basically with the release of these two new Ryuga cards, it does open the door for us to get two more Malice cards and two more RYU-GEH cards down the final releases of the set. This is the archetype that needs it the most. The other two are already top tier competitive threats, so we will see if Konami executed their plans here and gave Ryuga really strong support, but let's take a look and see. This is the archetype I know the least, just because the other two have kind of been like circulating around. They're competitive threats, you know, you test against them, you test with them, all that kind of stuff. This is the one archetype that I'm still not even like the most caught up on, so just trying to figure that out. But anyway, let's get into it. Level 10, Dark Dragon, Pendulum Effect Monster, 3000 attack, 2100 defense, Pendulum Scale 11, and you can only use the second effect once per turn. You cannot Pendulum Summon except Ryuga monsters. This effect cannot be negated, sure. And when an opponent's card or effect resolves that was activated in response to the activation of your Ryuga spell, card or effect, you can negate that effect, then destroy this card. Okay, that is pretty interesting. I guess, like, off of the top of my head, the most relevant way that this effect I feel like can come up is with the field spell. The field spell is insane. People have said that the field spell is one of the most broken archetype field spells they've ever read. So they're just trying to go off of that. Because it gets like 3 different cards in rotation, basically. And so if that card is getting hand-trapped, is getting stopped in one way, because I think it can get ogred, I think it can get ashed, stuff like that, right? Being able to protect that card to make sure it resolves is pretty good. The other thing that it does, it places continuous spells face up. I don't know how easy it is for your opponent to interact with those cards already, but still being able to insulate those is fine, but this isn't like the craziest pendulum effect out there. Alright, for the monster effect, you can only use its 3 effects once per turn, 3 hard once per turn effects. You contribute a Ryuga monster from your hand or field, except for itself, to special summon this card from the hand. Okay, relatively easy to jump out on the field, you just have to get any Ryuga monster loaded up on the field, but that's fine. Second effect, if this card is special summoned, you can target a card on the field, destroy it. That's interesting. Okay. So I guess it kind of helps you like play into boards, and I don't know off the top of my head, I don't know this archetype as well. Can we summon this on the opponent's turn to just like pop a card? I don't know for sure. And thirdly, if this card is destroyed, you can place a Ryuga continuous spell or trap from your deck, graveyard, or banishment face up on your field. That's interesting, actually. Because if we can, even in scale, if you can use his scale effect where he destroys himself, I'm assuming that triggers this, because it says if this card, not if this monster, and he would just count as a card at that point. You just get a free Ryuga continuous spell or trap, which we have one here. So this is another thing. Hopefully this is good. I don't even like this archetype is kind of hard to track because it has so many moving pieces, but we'll see. Interesting first card. Like this card doesn't blow me away, but like it pops a card when it's summoned. So do we have ways to quick summon it, or even just going second? Does it help us play into boards? He's a 3K body that's also popping a card when he's summoned, and if he's destroyed, he is just getting you a free card. That's the best part, I think. Excuse me. Is the monster effects on him seem better than the pendulum effect, but who knows. Alright, and into this section, the continuous trap card, you can only use the second and third effects of this card each once per turn. Your opponent cannot target Ryuga monsters you control with card effects. Okay, that's something. You do put a lot of big bodies on the field, so now they'll be big and untargetable. There you go. Second effect, if you have a Ryuga Pendulum monster on your field or face up extra deck, you can shuffle 2 Ryuga monsters from your hand, graveyard, and or banishment into the deck. To target a monster on the field, destroy it. If this card is destroyed, you can set one non-continuous Ryuga trap from your deck, graveyard, or banishment. Interesting. I don't know if this card's strong enough, to be honest. I really don't. You have to have a Ryuga Pendulum monster on field or extra, so that's either the guy from the original wave or this new one. You have to have one of those in rotation. Two, you have to have two Ryuga monsters in rotation aside from him, or I guess it could be one of those on the field. You could still have one. You could still have them on the field, or at least get them on field, engrave or banish, whatever. And all it does is target them, and even the payoff is like target a monster on the field, destroy it, which is fine. That is an interruption. That is something. But it's not like that good. It's not like really that strong of an interaction. And thirdly, if this card is destroyed, getting another a non-continuous trap seems so slow. Do we have, like, are we ever really destroying this before turn one? Or on turn one, I guess, where we could, like, get a more powerful end board piece? I don't know. And it kind of, like, because if not, and we're waiting to, like, destroy this on a turn 2 or later, you're going to destroy it and then set another trap that can't be activated that turn. Excuse me. That just seems so slow. So, I don't know. Seems fine. Like I said, this archetype's hard to judge. There's so many moving pieces. These cards. This card literally has 5 effects. Okay, the trap card has 3 of its own effects. It's hard for me to know if they're, like, really that good. They seem fine. They don't seem bad. I just, for an archetype that was, like, by far the worst of the 3 out the gate, it felt like they needed pretty pushed support to kind of get them out there to mix it up with the other 2 archetypes on their level. But this does not seem to me like these are the type of cards that will get them there. Now, luckily, we should get at least one more core set with support for crossover breakers in it, but I think we might just be relegated to waiting on that, and hoping that has what this archetype needs to get to the next level. But not there for me. So there you go. There's our 2 new Ryuga cards, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below on these. Let me know if you think these are good enough, if you're an actual Ryuga player. Again, I just don't know the archetype as well, but just based on how these cards read in a vacuum, they don't seem like world destroyers, so they're just okay for me. But listen, it's support is support, and these don't seem bad, so hopefully they're helping. But anyway, that should leave us in position for tomorrow and probably the day after to be Malice and RYU reveals. So clench your butt cheeks for that, because those decks are already top tier right now. So keep that in mind. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching, as always. I'll keep you posted with anything Yu-Gi-Oh! News down the stretch here, and honestly, you know, continuously. So subscribe to the channel for that, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace.